Hi guys, Top Pops here, and today we're going to be talking about what those numbers in the corner of the boxes mean. So let's get started. Okay guys, so if you don't know what I'm talking about, let me just pick a random one off the wall here. So let's start with Chuck Norris. This is an example that I could show off because Chuck Norris is in pop movies. And as you guys can see, there is number 673 right there. So that is his specific number. And you guys, a lot of people ask me what that means. Well, let's pull it up right here. So I've got a list of everything about those numbers, and there's a lot. You guys would be surprised. You'd think, oh, it's just a number in the corner. But it's very different, and there's lots of things that go on with the numbers, and there's specific things, and it gets different, and let me go through it, guys. So to first start off, each pop has a number in a line, and that is their unique number. So for the pop movies line, Chuck Norris is the only one in that line with number 673. There are many different lines, such as television, movies, rocks, animation, drag queens, books, holidays, games, Garbage Pail Kids, cereal, ad icons. I gotta think here. There's way more. I don't know. Anyways, the list goes on and on. Sesame Street is another one. And by the way, guys, when I look over there, I'm looking at other pops to give me examples here. But there are lots of different things that go on within the number. So now for the movies line, so that's what this is, guys. So if you ever see this, it's pop movies. And it's number 673 in the movies line. So that's the one specific number inside the pop movies line. The only number in pop movies will be 673, and that goes with Chuck Norris. So the only one there. Now, there can be other 673s when it switches from movies to, say, television, and number 673 will be different there. So depending on what category it's in, that's the number it will be. Now, let's go on to the next one, talking about the number one in every line. So there is a number one here, which is Butters from South Park. This is the number one for South Park. Now, but when we go to the number one for Disney, we actually have Mickey Mouse as the number one. So as you guys can see, Mickey Mouse is the number one for Disney. So with every line, there will be different figures that have the different number ones. So this is just an example. I like to use number one because it's easy. But then as you guys can see, let me give you a couple more examples here. For number two, it's Cartman, but for number two for Disney, it's Buzz Lightyear. For number three, it's Woody, but then for number three, it's Ike Broflovski. So it's very different, guys. And as you can see, it's got pop. Now, there is no category for this one, but it goes under the Disney line, which is Disney right there, and then it's number one. So with South Park, it also doesn't say, pop South Park, but it's South Park number one. So if there's never anything under this, you usually go off of whatever the logo is up here at the top. So with South Park being the logo at the top, that's the line. But that's another example there, is that. Another case could be that if Mickey Mouse is number one in this line, but there are other number ones. Now, this is where it gets a little complicated, but it's not that tough. So we have a couple examples here. So this is also number one in the line, and this is number one, all in Disney, guys. Now, this is a reason because it's the same sculpt as this one. So as you guys can see, these Mickeys look exactly the same, just different colors. Maybe they'll even have a different box art, but this is because of the 90th anniversary, but that doesn't matter. The only thing that we care about here is that it's the same sculpt. They both have the hands to the sides, they've both got their eyes, like the same pose and everything like that. So that's why they're both number one. It doesn't matter what the paint job is. It can be a different pop with a different paint job, but that's why it's number one. Same with this pink one here. These two are both number one. These two are number one. All three of these are number one for the Disney line. But when it's not number one, so if you guys are saying, well, shouldn't every Mickey Mouse be number one then? That's not true, because once we get into this, here is Brave Little Tailor Mickey. Now, he has a different sculpt, and he is number 429. Now, that is because he looks different. He's got a hat on, he's got the scissors in his hand, he's got his hands to the side, and it's not the same as this Mickey Mouse here. As you guys can see, they're very different figures. Now, like I said, guys, there are many different lines, and I have a bunch of examples: television, movie, rocks, animation, books, holidays, games. Every different category that there is with pops all have number ones, and they all count up from there. So if there is ones from, let's give an example here. Like we said, guys, pop animation. There will be a bunch of figures inside of there. In pop animations, there will be a number one, and it will go all the way up to, just an example, 429. So that's a big, broad spectrum, I guess you could say, for the numbers that are inside of one line just because of how many pops there are. But another thing that I want to mention is that inside of lines, there are smaller categories. For examples, with movies, you're able to find it from, say, Chuck Norris is its own movie, but then Lord of the Rings is also another category technically. But they're both inside the movies category. So they'll have the same numbers from the same category, if that makes sense. So because they're both under movies, they're both going to be in the same number sequence. That's a good way to put it. So if they both have, so 673 and 535, eventually, guys, all go in order to be one big, long, continuous number counting up. What else do we have here? There are a couple specifics here that don't have numbers in the corner that I have here. One of them being SE, which is Special Edition. I can show that one off here. This is Special Edition. So they usually pertain to Freddy Funkos, or this was also with Hot Topic Girl has a Special Edition one. But you guys can see in the spot where there should be a number, it just says Special Edition. And that's because there isn't really a spot in a line for this one to have a number. It's just one that Funko made for an event or a special thing such as like Hot Topic Girl. They made one for Hot Topic. It doesn't really have a line that it fits into, so they just put Special Edition on there. And that's what's up with this Freddy as well. This one was for Fun Days 2018. Now, they didn't really have a line to put this in. Maybe they could have put it in Funko, which it is under, but there's no spot in the Funko line to put this in, so they gave it a Special Edition number. Now, another thing that we have here is with 2-packs and 3-packs. I gave the example with this one here. I can also show you a 3-pack as well. But with this one, they don't have numbers on the front. They just put the number. They just put the word 2-pack, as you guys can see there, because there are 2 pops inside of this. So they don't actually give this one numbers because you can't give 2 numbers to the figures. But they will tell you what the other numbers are for the rest of the ones in the line in this section here. As you guys can see, they're in Pop Television. They're in the 600s here for this line. And you guys usually, with the figures in the specific show in the line of Pops, they'll have the numbers next to each other. So the ones from the Brady Bunch are 693 to 698. So anything in between there is all Brady Bunch. I hope this makes sense. I'm trying to kind of make it simple so that way everybody can figure it out. Another thing that we have is another specific. Well, let me show this off, guys. This is actually the Pop 3-pack, and as you guys can see, it says 3-pack right there. That's just another example of it. And then they've also got some other Justice League characters on the back there. So that's just another one that I wanted to show off because that's another thing with it. Now, I can show off, what's this one here? Okay, so this is one that's kind of different. So with Freddy Funko, the original one, that came with the Fun Club kit that you could order off of Funko's website. You actually had to mail in money, which I thought was pretty cool for the original one. Now you can just buy the new one off their website. But for the original one, you had to mail in money and then you get it sent back to you. I think it was $25. And it came with a couple of things. But the original ones came with 00, which is like this pop here. It said 00 in the corner. And that's because it was one of those ones, they didn't call it Special Edition yet. They didn't really have any Special Edition ones. They just put it under the line and did 00. So it's like if there was a 1 here, they would be like, oh yeah, we'll just put this one right under it because we don't have a number for it. But then later on, they had the same pop, but with a different bow color. So instead of it being red bow on his lapel there, I believe that's called, it has a blue one, and they put it at number 17. They fit it right into the line at number 17. I don't know. It's the same exact pop, just with a different colored bow. I just thought I would mention it. They both came in the Fun Club kit. That's just something specific that they had. What else do we have? Another thing, guys, that we can talk about is some other ones that pop up in the corner that are kind of random. One of them is SM, and this is going with a Freddy. It's a social media Freddy. This is one that you can get from if you see the Funcast at conventions, or they'll give them away when you win stuff, whether it be on Twitter or in their newsletter or on Instagram. They do giveaways sometimes, or on their Twitch. You guys can win stuff like that. Or Fanatic of the Week is another one. But SM is the social media Freddy that they give away in social media giveaways. HQ is another one you can find in the corner, and this was for stuff that you could get at the headquarters grand opening. And this was like something like Robot Freddy or Freddy Funko holding the Space Needle because their HQ is in Seattle. Or there was Football Freddy, which was one that you could get with, I believe it was going with the Seattle Seahawks, if I'm not mistaken. But that had HQ in the corner as well. We've got a couple other things. Some of these I don't actually own because they're kind of weird random pops. But another one that we have here, guys, is Amazing Carlos and Lance, which was it's a mascot for a school near the Funko HQ in Everett, Washington. They have the same number in the same line. Now, this is something that doesn't happen often. This is the only one that we could find when we were doing the chat on Discord, trying to find all of these. And Amazing Carlos is number 1 in the Funko line because it's Pop. It's Pop Funko, as you guys can see here. And so does Lance, has the same thing. It's Pop Funko number 1. I thought this was kind of odd. I don't know if this was on purpose by Funko, if they just wanted to throw it into the Funko line because it was like a special Pop. They could have put it at SE, because there are lots of special edition ones, because that's just like one, they don't have a number for it. But yeah, I'm not sure why they did that for that figure specifically, but it's kind of cool to see. Pop DIY, that's one where you can make your own. They really don't have a number for that one because you guys could throw it into whatever line you want because it's your own custom. That one has a question mark instead of a number. So that's pretty cool. That's something that I thought I would mention because it's a different little spot for the number. And also, guys, some Pops don't have numbers. Now, let me show you this one here. It's mostly on... I know a couple 9-inch figures have this, but I have an example of one here. This is the Adventure Time Fiona and Cake. This one does not have a number. So you guys normally would be right here, but this is the older way they used to make 2-packs and stuff like that. They'd be 2 Pops put together. It's almost like you flipped a Pop box. This is the normal way, then they flip it and put it on this side. But they do put the numbers on the back, some of them. So if you guys can see here, I believe it's 55 and 56, if I'm not mistaken, or 54 or 55. But yeah, so sometimes they won't have the numbers on the front, whether like it's kind of like the 2-pack, 3-pack thing, but they just don't put the numbers anywhere on the front. The Seattle Seahawks 3-pack didn't have that either. But yeah, it's just something kind of different that they didn't do on this box. I just think it was because they put them on the back. But yeah, guys, sometimes they don't have numbers on the front. They'll be on the back or hidden somewhere else on the box. What else do we have here? There's 2 more things before we go, guys. The Beatles 4-pack, which was a special edition one. You got all 4 of the Beatles. Then it came with the Yellow Submarine DVD or CD inside of it. And if you guys don't know, compact disc. I know, kind of outdated. But yeah, they came with a CD inside of it. And then if you guys bought that, in the corner it said Collector's Edition instead of a number. It should be on the screen now. And then the last thing before we go, well, actually 2 more things. The Costco Star Wars 4-pack was 4 figures put together. I don't remember which ones, but the exclusive thing was like Rey had a glow-in-the-dark lightsaber and Kylo Ren had a glow-in-the-dark lightsaber. But instead of it having a number on it, because, you know, inside of that box there were 4 separate boxes, on the outside of it they had the word Funko where the number would normally be. So that was cool. They did it for both of them for Costco. And the last thing that I have here, guys, is that when they did Hot Topic Guy, which was given out to employees that worked at Hot Topic, I believe it was with the highest sales records, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know about that one. Don't quote me on that. Or it could have just went to a couple stores with good sales records. They had special Pops given to them as Hot Topic Guy. And it was special to the store. Some employees got them. I thought it was pretty cool, but instead of having anything in the corner, it said Hot Topics 25th anniversary or something like that. It was a little circle with something else besides the word, you know, besides a number inside of it. They could have put special edition or something like they did with Hot Topic Girl, but this was a while ago, and I thought that was pretty cool. But that is everything, guys, that I could find and that everybody could find on the Discord. If you guys aren't on the Discord, I'll have it linked in the description down below. We do stuff like this, guys, where you can help me work on videos and everything like that. But yeah, this was everything that we could find for numbers. We found some pretty cool ones, like with the DIY, it has the question mark. I think that's pretty much everything that we've got here. Like the Mickey Mouse's number 1 can be in separate lines, but, you know, within it can be the same number, whether it's the Mickey Mouse. I don't know. I hope this all made sense to you guys, and if you guys have anything else that I might have missed, I tried to get everything. We had the whole Discord looking through Stashpedia and Pop Price Guide, seeing if they could find anything weird, but I think that's everything. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was informative, and if you guys liked it, don't forget to like the video. But this has been an episode of Top Pops Popsters. Thanks for watching.